Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yuli Anastasia. I want to present my proposal about an analysis of speaking conversation in the classroom at 11th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Sukoharjo. The first chapter 1, Introduction. Background of the study. English is the important language in the world because English is universal language. To make an easy conversation with people in other country, English is the best way to use for the important reason, so we have to learn it as early as possible. In learning English, there are 4 basic skills that students should master. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Speaking is one of the important skills to be mastered by students in learning English. According to Wilson, 1983, definition of speaking as development of the relationship between speaker and listener. In addition, speaking determining which is logical, linguistic, psychological, and physical rules should be applied in a given communicated situation. It means that the main objective of speaking is for communication. In order to express effectively, the speaker should know exactly what he or she wants to speak or communicate. He or she has to be able to evaluate the effect of his or her communication to his or her listener. He or she has to understand any principle that bases his speaking, either in general or individual. When used all of speaking conversation factor, learning English seems quite difficult for the student. Hence, the researcher wants to focus on analyzing the factor that affect student English speaking conversation at 11th grade student of SMA Negeri 2 Sukoharjo. For the reason, this study the title on analysis of speaking conversation in the classroom at 11th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Sukoharjo. B. Problem identification. Based on the background of study, the researcher found some problems that can be identified. The problem are: 1. The student have less of vocabulary. 2. Student does mastering grammar well. 3. Student have less of confidence to practice speaking, and the last student feel shy and afraid if they wrong to pronunciation. C. Problem limitation. Problem limitation. To focus the topic of the researcher makes limitation to subject and object of the research. The subject of this research is student 11th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Sukoharjo in academic years 2019 and 2020. The object of this research is speaking conversation at the classroom. D. Problem statement. Based on the research background above, the problem that can be identified is: what are the factors influencing student conversation in speaking English at classroom? C. E. Is aim to find out the factors that contribute to student conversation in the speaking English. And the next chapter 2, Review of literature. This chapter describes some theories function as the basic of the research and the previous study. A. Definition of speaking. There are many definitions of speaking. According to Targan 1990, definition of the speaking is a language skill that is developed in child life, which is produced by listening skill, and at the period speaking skill is learned. B. Aspect of speaking. Speaking is important because speaking is a skill that can make people easily understand to what things explained or what things are spoken, but actually students' speaking ability is still low. It is difficult to them to master some aspect of speaking performance. 1. Fluency. B. Pronunciation. C. Grammar. D. Vocabulary. And the last, interview communication. C. Appropriateness. D. Complexity. And then C. Problem in speaking. There are many problems in speaking. It can be effect from two causes. One, the first causes that makes the student difficult in speaking English is that the environment does not support the student to speak English frequently. And the second cause is problem with grammar. English always deals with reference of time, while Indonesian does not have one. Moreover, there are singular and plural forms that the student have to distinguish, and still many forms that have to be learned. And D. The solution to solve the problem student of speaking difficulty. Possible solution to solve the student speaking difficulty are: A. Group work. B. Easy language. C. Interesting topic. D. Calling guidelines. And the last, English monitors. A. Characteristics of a successful speaking activity. After knowing the solution from the speaking problem, teachers should know the kinds of characteristics of the successful speaking activity. In other ways, student speaking ability will improve and speaking activity in the class will more live. Second, participant is even it means that classroom discuss is not dominant. The monitor of talkative participant all get a chance to speak and contribution of fairly, although is distributed. Review of previous study. This research is not the first time before this research. There are many research study about the speaking difficulties conversation in the classroom. First, the research was conducted by Mia Damayanti 2014. The research was conducted at IAIN Tulungagung with the goals is to research the problem in doing presentation faced by the English department student at IAIN Tulungagung. This is qualitative research to collect the data, the research doing observation, contribution, questionnaire and interview. Based on the result from the study showed that the student had problem in doing presentation with English language. The most problem faced by student is feeling unconfidence. Some students also lacking of grammar knowledge and having limited vocabulary. When this problem, the lecturer can overcome the student problem when doing presentation by giving suggestion to the student about the language error after the doing presentation. And the last, chapter 3, research method. A. Research design. Considering the purpose of the research and the nature of the problem, this research is an analysis qualitative one. It is an analysis because the object of this study are observing and finding the information as many as possible of the phenomenon. It is kind of method which is conducted by collecting and analyzing data and drawing representative conclusion. In this method, the data used is a random sampling which is explored by analysis. The ideas of analysis qualitative is strength the approach. There, one, qualitative research is concerned with the explanation and analysis of phenomena as they occur in routine, ordinary, natural environment. Second, the researcher can approach the data in different frame and mind. And the last, it is emphasis in rich, descriptive, and subjective character of data which is produced by using qualitative techniques. B. Subject of the study. The subject of the study was the 11th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Sukoharjo in the academic years of 2018 and 2019, which the total number are 61 students consist of the place. They are 11A, 11B, and 11C class. C. Themes and setting of the study. This thesis was conducted on the middle semester in the academic year of 2018 and 2019 for 14 days, which began on 14 November up to 28 November 2018. It was conducted in 11th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Sukoharjo. Arikunto states the source of data are subject where the data come from. In this study, researchers use the research procedure in order to get the required data. The instrument of the research. One of most important activities in doing research is how to get and collect the data needed. The researcher has tried to apply some appropriate research instrument. There were several ways to collect data, like questionnaire, observation, file notes, interview, and test. In the study, the research gathered the data by using several instruments, namely question, interview, and documentation. One questionnaire. Questionnaire is to be attention center. It is the problem which should be solved. 2. Interview. Interview is the process to get explanation by asking questions face to face between researcher and responding using interview guide. 3. Document checklist. It refers to the achieved data that helps the researcher to collect the needed data. A. Technique of collecting data. Source. The first source of data. Second, data collection method. Consists questionnaire, interview, and documentation. And the last of technique of data analysis. Data analysis is an effort which is done by researchers to embrace the data accurately. After collecting the data, researchers analysis the data. It can be defined as the process of analysis data required from the result of the research. The data are analyzed from the following steps. First, collecting the data. Second, documentation and identification. Third, classification, and the last, interpretation. Okay, I think enough. This is my mini research about an analysis of speaking conversation in the classroom at 11th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Sukoharjo. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.